Very good morning to you all. Hope you're doing well. We'll start with the risk calculation. It's useful to see. It tells us how the herd are positioned at a big picture level, which is this metric here, and it tells us what they're doing over time. Now, they're quite happy to hold on to the drawdown, very happy, knowing that price is going to come round. But as soon as they're on to winners, they'll cut their winners. So it's a very, very powerful demonstration of the herd, and it gives us a very strong bias. So don't forget that we are risk on at the big picture. Okay, so there's 9 people trying to short indices, so S&P, Dow Jones, DAX, and indices generally. And so if they're shorting, the price should come up to punish them and to take their stops and to take their liquidity. Now, if we do go a little bit heavy on the 24-hour change, you'll probably see that there's a scary news event, and then the herd are like, oh, hang on a minute, we should be bearish, we should be fearful, because that's how they're programmed. Okay, so it's really cruel, but that's just how it works. Okay, they have to be fearful, they have to live in a state of fear. And you look at the news, the news is always really bad. All right, so now they're shorting the Kiwi yen, so that's worth noting. That'll bring me to the new logic of the robot. Okay, so we're looking for direction on the daily shifting. So we'll talk about the robot in about 30 seconds or so. So note where the bubbles are and how they're positioned. And yeah, they're still long yen, so be careful. If that bubble comes over here, it's going to be a sell again. So be careful with that one. And QDB scores, I guess, quickly. And we've got a new change. So we can examine the change, like the movers and shakers. I suppose you think about it like, like the top 10, music. You see the movers and shakers and where they've performed. And, this is the number one. This is like the worst performing pair. And so we should see negative price change down here. We should see positive up here. Euro Kiwi is negative, so that's probably worth noting, but it's had a negative change. Okay, so let's talk about the bubbles. So let me get my RDP. No, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I've got a load of terminals running. And right, so we've got this new logic called testing code for retrace. Now, what it will do will only trigger if it's satisfied a sufficient move on the day from the sentiment. Okay, so as long as we're getting that direction first, then we can look at the clever stuff afterwards. Okay, and we had a really negative day yesterday. The euro pound really pumped, and it took our stops, and the dollar Swiss really pumped, and it took our stops. So we need to address that, and which we have done by the new method. The new method is the retracement aspect with the direction. All right, so it's no point just throwing trades at MetaTrader 4 like willy-nilly. There needs to be a logic. So the logic is that we're going to have an intraday direction based on sentiment, and we're looking for retracements, and that's the two components that we've included. So ideally, what we'll do, we'll try and get rid of these strongest scores hopefully by Friday, and then so we can start afresh with this new logic, which is the testing code for retracement, which includes the retracement obviously. So when price dips, we're going to get an entry, but it has to correspond to the sentiment shifting for a buy. So for example, they'd sold the Kiwi yen, so we're looking to buy, but we're looking to buy in the retracement. All right, so hopefully that's clear. So it's very powerful. It's quite clever, but we do need to get the direction aspect sorted out. And what we'll do, it won't open that many trades as well, which is fantastic because we open way too many trades, and we're down quite a bit on our robot on our demo account. Okay, so that's just a little wrap up of where we are, and hopefully that makes sense, while we're looking to use the sentiment with the retracement to get a good entry. And it should be really amazing. And the QDB scores is cool as well because we've got the change, which is pretty awesome. So gold, I guess maybe we could look for longs, 1924 stop. only 33 entry. It's not too wide. If they sell it, which they might do, then we'll get the buy. So then we could look for a long. So we could perhaps have that as an idea to buy with a stop there. It's quite wide, and then your target up here. In fact, we can draw a box. Actually, we wouldn't be targeting up there. We've got the sandwich. We've got a kind of a annoying sandwich scenario, right? So I think from a risk to reward perspective, that's going to be a stop, and that's going to be a TP. It's not even going to be a 1-to-1R. So you might want this to dip a little bit more in order to target that. So probably no trade set up there. Because the risk to reward is not very good. If we were targeting up there, then that'd be a much better trade, but it's a little bit wary about that. My Xbox just turned on, which is a bit strange. I'm not sure why that did that. I put my Xbox in my study because I'm spending a lot of time at home watching charts, and it's good just to take your eye off the charts because it can be quite repetitive. S&P is made the punishment zone up here, but note that we definitely did come down to test that, and we can elongate that box. You can see what happened. So apologies if you can hear my Xbox whirring. It's just starting up. I'm not sure why I did that. Maybe there's an update for it or something. But yeah, you're looking for longs as long as that support holds. Here's 30. And this is quite cool. What's this box? And see that respect there. It's quite cool. And respected it quite well. And so I guess be careful if you're looking for longs. It's quite a thin support. They might sell it, like I said in Discord, but they might need a news driver, like a scary news event. Perhaps they'll unleash a new variant of the coronavirus or something that they're going to believe, and then they're going to sell the indices. And if they sell it, we're going to get the buy. Be careful there. I'm going to turn my Xbox off actually. Not sure why I did that. It's really weird. And DAX. And chopping sideways, what I was saying. So probably want to possibly avoid this. It's no good because we've got no direction, no signal. So just to wrap up, remember we are risk on our risk calc at the big picture. Keep an eye on your VIX because that's probably not gonna. This is sort of subject to interpretation, and it can change. And you know what the humans are like; they can just change their mind quite quickly. However, the VIX is probably going to be a little bit more reliable. This is still incredibly powerful, but anything can happen in the space of 24 hours. They might change their mind suddenly, and then they go long or short. We don't know what they're going to do, but they're normally programmed to be fearful, and then so they're normally bearish. Okay, so that would be typical. So keep an eye on your VIX. Any feedback about the QDB scores would be cool if you wanted to, and I think this is an excellent new addition, so we can see movers and shakers and where things have come from. So Euro USD was at the top, if you remember, and we've lost 3 points. Look at the performance change. Okay, so hopefully it helps. I'll speak to you guys soon, and our robot should be really, really good now because it's got the retracement logic and the sentiment shifting on the day as well.